Welcome. You are now tuned in to the Expert Advice for Men podcast. For more information, visit us at www.expertadviceformen.com. And here is your host, Billtown Radley.
Hey guys, on today's episode, we're talking all things keto with Leana Aguila. And she is the first female guest on our Expert Advice for Men podcast because I believe good information does not discriminate. Now, Leana is the founder of Keto Coffee and Lipstick, one of the hottest keto lifestyle and information pages on Instagram. Keto Coffee and Lipstick is so wildly popular that in only 9 months, Leana's page recently passed 10,000 followers, all for great reason. If you're looking for a keto Instagram page that is very much a welcoming community where Leana shares her keto-friendly recipes, amazing photos, tips, advice, humor, and has several prize giveaways from her keto-friendly sponsors, male or female, you need to follow Keto Coffee and Lipstick on Instagram for yourself and share her page with your friends. Now, Leana is not a doctor or nutritionalist. In fact, before starting any diet or exercise regimen, you must consult with your doctor or physician. Full disclaimers are found on our website. However, we bring Leana on the show because she comes with a wealth of knowledge with her own experience on keto, losing and keeping off over 40 pounds. And Leana is here to share her experiences and inspire others to research the keto lifestyle for themselves. So without further waiting, here is Leana Aguila on the Expert Advice for Men podcast. Yeah. All right. So we've got Leana Aguila, the founder of Keto Coffee and Lipstick, and she is the first female guest of our Expert Advice for Men podcast because I believe good information does not discriminate. And we're going to talk all things keto. Now, good morning, Leana. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Now, so our listeners can have a bit of context. We always ask this question to all of our guests. We ask your age.
I am 34.
And full disclosure, I always tell everybody I'm going to be 43 in December. So, enjoy your 30s.
5 in December.
Oh, all right. Excellent. So tell us a bit about your background. Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born and raised here in Seattle, and I'm still here in Seattle, but my parents are originally from the Philippines.
Oh, okay. Awesome. When did they come over here from the Philippines?
They immigrated in the 70s.
All right, great. Now, a lot of people already know and have a lot of information on keto, but what got you inspired to start the keto lifestyle?
For me, it started in like 2013 after having my second child. I was like, okay, I need to lose this baby weight. Nothing was really working for me. I was working out a lot. I was running. I was doing like dance fitness classes, just trying to be healthier, but I wasn't losing any weight. And I just was not feeling good about myself.
So you were doing the standard low fat, low calorie deal and lots of carbs, right?
Out.
Yes.
Yeah, all the carbs. So I started looking at okay, I'm doing all the exercise that I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I need to change the way I'm eating. And then actually Arnold, my husband, he was like, hey, have you heard of keto? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, I just saw it on Reddit. You should look it up. I don't know what it is about, but apparently you can still eat really good food. You can eat bacon and lose weight. I was like, what? Okay. So, when I was researching it
So sorry, guys, we had a bit of a disconnect there. Now, Leana was talking about 2013. There wasn't a lot of information on keto.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of information. There was maybe like 1 or 2 websites that I saw with tips and here's what you can eat and what you shouldn't eat. So I decided to give it a try. And I did it for like 2 months. It was really hard, but I did lose a little bit of weight. So that's what inspired me back then. And then I fast forward, we had a third child. And then after having the third child, I was like, okay, I need to do a keto reset. Looking into it now, there's so much information out there.
And for those who don't know, could you describe just briefly, in a nutshell, the keto lifestyle?
So keto, in a nutshell, is a low-carb, high-fat way of eating where you're eliminating carbs and sugar from your diet and you're training your body to use fat as fuel instead of sugar and carbs for energy.
And they call that being fat adaptive?
They call that, being fat adaptive, ketosis, yeah.
And how long does it usually take to hit that fat adaptive ketosis state?
I think it's really different for everybody. They say 2 weeks to 2 months. So it just depends on you, your body.
All right. And how much weight have you lost to date? And how long have you been doing a keto?
So I did a keto restart after my third child. I started in December of last year, and since then I've lost 40 pounds.
That's amazing. Now, do you work out now as well as doing the keto, or is this mostly just eating well and your daily activities?
If chasing after 3 kids counts as working out. But no, I don't work out, but I would like to. That's something I would like to incorporate now that I've lost a lot of weight. And now I'm kind of in maintenance mode.
So, for people who want to do this, in the beginning, did you lose weight immediately or did it take a few weeks?
In the beginning, I did lose a lot of weight at first. I think that the first 2 months. So I did pretty strict keto the first 5 or 6 months. I didn't cheat. I was keeping track of what I was eating, all the macros and all that stuff you're supposed to do. So I lost a lot of weight at first. And then it's like, okay, this is working. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. And then I hit a plateau where after like 25, 30 pounds, I was like, okay, nothing's changing. But I felt really good about my body. Like just this lifestyle change for me has just really done so many things more than just losing weight.
So, two questions there. People will talk about experience what's called keto fog, where when you transition to that fat adaptive keto state, you feel a little bit of fatigue. Did you experience any of that keto fog?
I did a little bit. However, I was prepared, I would say this time. Like I've been on and off keto for so long that when I did this keto restart just a few months ago, I was prepared. I was like, okay, I need to make sure I'm drinking enough water and making sure I'm drinking my electrolytes. Like that's something I wasn't really aware of. But for me, like everyone has different symptoms with the keto fog. Like you said, fatigue. Some people have like headaches, nausea. I was more having like leg cramps.
Leg cramps.
So yeah, that was my symptom, and headaches. So as soon as I felt some of those symptoms, I was like, okay, I need to drink more water. I need to make sure I'm getting my electrolytes in. And that really helped get through that.
And you also talked about your plateaus. You said you started losing 20, 30 pounds. And then, you said you've lost about 40 pounds now. How did you break through that plateau there?
Just changing it up. Like, I think maybe my body was getting used to like, okay, she's doing keto. So I had to change it up. Like I had to really look at what I was eating, what I was putting in my body. And I had to just do something different that worked for me. So for me, I was like, okay, let me limit some of the dairy I'm eating. You know, a lot of dairy has hidden carbs, even though like heavy whipping cream will say 0 carbs. It still has carbs. It still has calories. So just changing the macros, after you lose like 20 pounds, your body composition changes where you need to change it up.
Okay. It's almost like any other workout. Keep your body guessing. That's great. It's like almost any kind of workout. And I hate to say diet because I know when I train for jiu-jitsu tournaments or working out, it is a lifestyle. It's something that if you do consistently for several months and embrace the lifestyle, you will see results. But guys listening, it's not a quick fix of anything. It's something that you want to stick with. And like anything else, you will see results there. Now, going back to your mindset, what you said your reason was when you had your kids. What is your reason now for keeping with the keto lifestyle?
I've noticed just how I feel. I feel really great. Like I have high energy. I have mental clarity. My appetite's been reduced, so I'm not eating all day. I used to just eat when I'm bored, eat. I need a snack. Like I just used to eat because I love food. Now it's just more, so much has changed more than just the physical changes of losing weight. Like I have, lost a lot of weight, but also gained a lot of confidence in myself. I just have more energy. I feel good about myself. It's just, a lot have changed. I used to have a lot of headaches. I used to have a lot of like health issues, I would say. Headaches, stomach aches, a lot of acne, just all kinds of things. So I feel like keto has surprised me in a way that it's made things better for my health, just overall health.
Now, guys who are listening, really make sure you go, guys and gals who are listening to this podcast, really make sure you get on Instagram, follow Keto Coffee and Lipstick, because you have some really great keto-friendly recipes and imagery there. I personally get bored with food a lot. And when I'm doing keto, it's like chicken breast, and here's my broccoli for 3 days in a row. But I'm looking at your page and you have a lot of amazing food and recipes. Where did your recipes come from? Are these your own self recipes? How did you get started with that?
So a lot of the recipes I come up with, it kind of just goes based on like what I'm craving, like what do I want to eat? What do I miss? And I think about like, how can I ketofy that? Or, there's alternatives for everything if you just look. There's so many keto friendly foods out there, gluten free, all these things that if you just look, there's alternatives for everything, and just being creative and just trying to feed my cravings, I should say.
Now let's talk cravings here. Do you enjoy a cheat meal every so often? And how about alcohol? Do you enjoy these things every so often?
Cheat meals, I would say, I guess a cheat meal for everybody is different.
Right.
For me, cheat meals would probably be more like higher calorie days or more just keto friendly treats. I don't really go off track too often just because I feel like I don't really need to. But let's say like on vacation, sometimes like, okay, I really want to eat this ice cream. That's not keto. And I'll have a treat, but I won't make it like a cheat day. I'll make it like, okay, I'm going to have this cheat right now, but that's going to satisfy me now. And I'm just going to get back onto keto.
You are so good with that. I need to start doing that too personally, just having a cheat item. But I'll go like a cheat day and then say, oh, well, let's just do it over the weekend. And the diet starts on Monday. And then it's been 3 days.
I've been through that too. It's a lot of mental talking, like a lot of self-talk of like, okay, remember how you're going to feel after you eat this terrible meal. It might taste good now, that instant gratification
that
everybody wants. Like it's going to taste now, but I'm going to feel like later I'm going to pay for it the next 2 days. I'm going to have a stomach ache or a headache. And my energy is just going to drop. I hate that feeling. And I have 3 kids. I need to be on top of it.
Yes.
That really motivates me.
If there's any reason, that's the best reason right there. Now, we'll go into your opinions on a couple things now that you've been on keto for, you say your reset here, about 10, 11 months. What would you change or do differently now compared to when you first started?
I definitely would like to add more exercise into my lifestyle. That's something I've been wanting to do. Just trying to find the time is kind of hard right now with 3 little kids. So that's definitely something I would change. Also, now, I'm also still breastfeeding. I have like a 1-year-old and we're starting to wean her. So now that I am starting to wean her, I want to look into more intermittent fasting just to change it up a little bit. I see a lot of people on Instagram and online, like just talking about the health benefits of it. So that's something I think I could add and change into my lifestyle.
And that's probably going to be another podcast episode. I'd like to talk about that with an expert also about intermittent fasting. And I've said this in the beginning of our podcast, guys. We're not health professionals. We're not doctors or physicians. If you stick with any or start with any keto diet exercise regimen, really make sure you contact and get consultation with your physician and MD before starting any program. We have Leana here, of course, because I've said this in our pre-roll, is that you've been there and done that. So you know what you're doing, and we're trying to pick your brain on how to stay positive and mentally stick on track when it comes to keto. Now, what, in your opinion, I know you have a network of people. I'm sure you do keto with your friends and close acquaintances. In your opinion, what separates the people who stick with the lifestyle and those who don't?
I would say this was a hard question because I started keto in 2013 on and off, and it was hard for me to stick to it back then. And for me, it was information and resources back then where I just didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like, okay, I think this is right. Let's just try this. But now, like I said, there's so much information and resources out there, like almost too much and overwhelming. So there's that. There's also a lot of people and support out there. Since I started keto, people in my family have started keto also, like my sister, my brother, my sister-in-law. Like we all are supporting each other in this journey. And since starting like an Instagram page of just sharing, here's what I'm eating, I've been able to connect with so many people like all over the world. It's pretty amazing, the support that is out there.
It really is like a fraternity. I see it in looking at your page. Everybody's liking things, posting things, sharing things. And that is the kind of community you need when it comes to losing weight and sticking with a lifestyle like this, that you also have people who understand what you're going through and cheer you on through those harder times. Now, what are some other online resources you would recommend or apps that you use that could help people who learn more about the keto lifestyle?
For me, I looked on YouTube for inspiration. There's a lot of people on YouTube sharing videos and experiences, and even just like basic how to start. And here's what you might experience. Also Pinterest for recipe inspiration. Instagram, if you just search the hashtag keto, there's a bunch of infographics of like, here's what's keto friendly, here's what's not keto friendly. There's just so much information out there now.
We're going to talk about a couple of your favorites here because I know some people have their favorite brands and products. When it comes to like a bread replacement, do you have a specific bread replacement brand that you like or a recipe that you enjoy using?
I am still trying to figure that out myself. There's so many new products and companies out there that claim to be keto friendly, but at the same time, you have to still look at the ingredients because not every ingredient will sit well with everybody, just depending on what they use. Also, I'm still trying to figure that out. There's been a lot of companies out there that have reached out to me about like, hey, you want to try our product? So that's been pretty fun. I love being able to share keto-friendly products with my followers and just to show everyone that keto is not hard. There's keto bread.
Right. There's stuff out there. Now, what would you say is your favorite keto-friendly snack then? Any snack?
I love snacking on like pork rinds, or, just like to get that crispiness. There's so many different snacks.
I second the pork rinds thing. That's the thing with keto is that you miss that crunch of like a potato chip or of some kind of carby food. Most carby food, it has that crunch, but pork rinds hits the spot for me too. As far as your favorite keto meal, what would you say is your favorite keto meal?
Favorite keto meal? Maybe like steak and eggs or something. Just, like
sounds good.
Keto is so amazing because you can still eat all the good food. I would rather eat steak and eggs than just eat bread, rice, and pasta.
Yeah. No, definitely. I love proteins too. Steak and eggs, I could eat that also all day. And finally, our last question on keto. What piece of advice would you give others considering starting the keto lifestyle?
Advice I would give others is definitely like do your own research. There's going to be a lot of information out there. Like I said, it could be overwhelming, but keep it simple. Like look at what it is, see how you can make it work for yourself, see how you can make it, adapt it to your lifestyle and just give it a try. If you don't feel good at first, you might have the keto flu. So just drink water, keep up with your electrolytes. And once you get past that, it'll get better.
All right.
Hopefully.
Excellent. So we're coming to our segment on our podcast known as the E4Q. And the E4Q stands for the exclusive 4 questions we ask all our guests to get personal insight from others with different backgrounds and walks of life. Now, Leana, question number 1, please tell us a place you've traveled or an adventure you've taken that you feel everyone should experience once in their life.
Let's see. I was trying to figure this out. Well, I haven't really traveled much. I can't really recommend like all these places, but I would love to travel more. But an experience I would say that everyone or every man should experience is, like a mani-pedi, like treat yourself, like I'm an advocate of self-care. So do something that you usually won't do. And a lot of men feel like it's just for women. So I always tell my husband, like, go get a mani-pedi, like go treat yourself.
I've actually had that with my own experience with my wife. She's sent me out with her to get your cuticles pushed back and clipped. And I had no idea what they were doing. And actually you feel good about yourself. It's like you said, self-care, and there's nothing wrong with self-care. Moisturizer's moisturizer. Guys, take care of yourselves. That's all. So great answer. Now, question number 2, what is a skill you possess or you wish you possess that you feel, and this doesn't have to go with just men. I know we usually interview men on this podcast, but do you have a skill you possess or wish you possess that you feel everyone should possess?
I think a skill everyone should have is cooking or baking. Like not everyone, the kitchen could be intimidating for some people. I know it is for my husband. He's like, that's your territory. I'm not going to mess with it. But I tell him like, it's okay. If you feel like making something, try it out. Like there's recipes. They tell you exactly how to make it. Yeah. So I would say like, don't be scared to get dirty in the kitchen.
That's a great answer. Very unique. I 100% agree as well. You could learn a lot too watching the Food Network. I watch a lot of those shows and their channels and the things they put together. And that would definitely help out, especially with keto. Because then you don't have to worry about processed food, buying your keto meals from somebody else. You can make them and know what's in there and tailor it the way you need it, right?
Right.
Excellent. Now, question number 3, Leana, give us an app on your phone that you use that you feel every man or woman should use.
Let's see. So since we're talking about keto and like being healthy and stuff, for people not even on keto. I think an app that everyone should use is a carb manager or like a MyFitnessPal app where you can kind of just keep track of what you're eating, just to be mindful of what you're consuming. And it's so interesting to see how much sugar is in something or how much. Yeah, it's just interesting. I used to never care about that stuff, but now it's, let's see how much sugar is in here.
Right.
So that is something I do recommend.
Yeah, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, I 100% agree. Now, our last question for the day, what piece of advice right now would your older self give to your younger self, let's say 10 years ago? And it doesn't have to be keto related, but what piece of advice would you give your older self give to your younger self about 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I would have been like, 24?
Have fun.
Oh my gosh, yes, have fun, enjoy yourself. But also at the same time, take care of your health. I've never been like a fitness person, but I wish that's something I would have got into and made it a habit. Just take care of your health. I like to say prevention before intervention.
I like that, yeah.
So I saw this quote at my kids' jiu-jitsu gym and it's right on the wall. So I see it every day and it says, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live.
And we're going to end it with that. That is an awesome quote. Now, Leana, thank you for joining us. Now, guys listening, please be sure to follow Leana on Instagram at Keto Coffee and Lipstick. I mean, you had 10,000, you just passed 10,000 followers in less than a year. And there's a reason why. I mean, you have amazing posts, keto-friendly videos, you have recipes, pictures. You also have prize giveaways too from your sponsors.
Yes, right. So I just hit 10K. So I'll be doing a bunch of giveaways probably in this next week, just from other keto-friendly companies that want to share their products and are letting me help them do that.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you again, Leana, for joining us, and would love to have you on in the future and talk more keto as your Instagram and everything else grows even more for you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Guys, now I've dabbled in keto and carb cycling, and the hardest thing for me is having some variety when it comes to food, especially dessert. But if you go on Keto Coffee and Lipstick, Leana has shared so many keto-friendly meal and dessert recipes that I've actually made myself, and many more I plan to try out in the future. So it's great to have some variety in my diet again. So make sure you guys give Keto Coffee and Lipstick a follow. As this episode originally released, I think she is currently running a giveaway right now. So make sure you check it out and don't wait to add Keto Coffee and Lipstick on your Instagram. Now that's our show for today, and make sure you tune in again next time. And until then, go out there and make it happen.
Thank you for listening to the Expert Advice for Men podcast with your host, Belltown Radley. If you enjoyed our show, make sure to rate it 5 stars, leave a positive comment, and share it with your friends. Your support means everything. Until next time, this is the Expert Advice for Men podcast.